Brant DXT grain carts have efficient unload speeds, large carrying capacities, unmatched durability, and reliable components that make sure your cart is working when you are. Lead the field with DXT grain carts from Brant. Visit your local Brant dealer for more information.
Lots happening on the ag political front, as last week we had a virtual FPT meeting and another one coming up in person in the beginning of September. Joining us to talk about that and a whole lot more, it is the Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, the Honourable Heath MacDonald. Mr. MacDonald, it's great to chat with you.
Yeah, great to be here, Sean.
Okay, so I guess let's start with last week and this virtual FPT meeting that was held. Of course, the in-person was canceled due to the wildfire situation in Manitoba. Do you feel that with the changes to 2025 and some of the discussions even going forward, were you satisfied with that meeting?
I was, and I think I'd rather an in-person meeting, obviously, but it is what it is. But I was very satisfied with it, and I think we all left on a very positive note, and we're looking forward to getting together in September.
Those changes for 2025, is 2026 on the table as well for those changes, or are moving from 80 to 90 and the cap from 3 million to 6 million? Are those a 1 year thing, or is there a potential they roll over into future years?
Well, I think we'll, we just got that passed and got everybody to agree to that at our meeting. So I think, every year is going to be a little different, and we see what the circumstances play out. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of challenging issues, whether it be drought or wildfires or what have you. In the interior BC, I see they're facing major drought issues too and water issues. So I think each year we're going to have to take an evaluation and see where we go from there. There may be other issues that pop up that we may want to address too.
Yeah. Well, I guess give us a little bit of a peek behind the curtain here. Of course, you're the federal minister of agriculture, but this is an agreement working in collaboration and cooperation, cost share, an important part of that with the provincial ministers with the provinces. So what does that look like in the room? Is it a case of trying to find consensus amongst the group, or do some, I guess, pods of ministers hold more court, so to speak, in regards to based on the number of acres and their financial contribution? How does it work to try to get to these kind of agreements?
Well, everybody has their own issues, and I think the regional differences, I think all the ministers respect each other in that regard. I think there's collaboration and cooperation. And it depends what we're talking about, what the issue of the day is, I think. But you know what? They're all integrated, and they all just want their industries and sectors in their home province to be successful. And yes, I think there's obviously they have to go back and look at their budgets as well when we make these types of decisions. So I think that's important for me to recognize, and other ministers around the table to recognize that not everybody's in the same financial position. So they need, and timing plays a key part of that as well. So I think that's extremely important. But you know what, the cooperation from that meeting was, I thought, really good. It was my first one, obviously, but I don't have much to measure on, but if they're all like that, Sean, I'd be pretty happy.
Okay, well, let's talk about the next one then. It's coming up. It'll be in person, as you mentioned. It is a better situation when any sort of meeting like this is in person. What are your goals that you're looking to achieve at the early September FPT meeting?
Well, I think it's building on the strength of the last meeting. I think we want to keep the lines of communication open. I think we want to talk about diversification, the economic value to the agriculture sector. I spent the last couple of days in Toronto meeting with, I think it was 8 different companies from I'm going to say North America, because there was one or two that were from the United States, and looking for investments in additional investments into the agriculture sector through venture capital, through could be equity, could be anything. And it was really they said likely a first time that they've ever been approached in this way. I feel it's important. It's part of a play that I think is extremely beneficial to the agriculture sectors across this country, to ensure that we're doing everything as a government to lead the way a little bit. And then, as I say, get out of the way at some point. So I think, those types of things I think we need to keep building on. And it's something that I will pursue for sure and have already started.
At a time where you're talking to companies about, trying to get more investment into Canada, one of the things that makes Canada appealing from an investment standpoint from outside capital is the access to the United States. I would imagine that some of the trade issues as we approach this August 1st deadline between Canada and the US, and also a USMCA CUSMA renegotiation potentially next year, that had to be something that came up as a concern or maybe a bit of a barrier for immediate capital investment.
You know what? The conversations went really well, and I was a little intrigued. I wasn't sure what to expect bringing these people together. I must say that kudos to several of them. They flew in for that meeting specifically into Toronto. So yeah, that's part of the discussion. But these are capital investors, and they have money to spend. They want to seek out some good possibilities, and they're keen. And it was really it felt good when we left the room. It was more than what I expected. I expected a lot of possible issues relevant to some barriers and impediments. Weren't really that many, so I felt um, I was more than pleased, and then we're going to stay in contact. FCC is playing a significant role now in agriculture with what they're doing and the new fund that they have, the 2 billion.
Yep.
So you know what? There's opportunities there, Sean, and we just need to pursue them. We need to engage these types of companies. We need to stay in contact with them and communicate with them. We need to do a better job of telling, I'll say, the world of investment how beneficial agriculture, agri-tech is right now. And I think we have a massive opportunity. I really do.
I was just going to ask you, what kind of industries or what kind of companies are we trying to attract? And you mentioned ag tech there. There's also, of course, downstream like processing and
Yeah.
value added things like that. I'm assuming that was included in that group. What other kind of industries have you been talking to?
Well, I'll give you an example of you mentioned processing. So prior to this meeting, we visited a lettuce processing plant just an hour outside of Toronto, and it's one of a kind here in Canada to some extent. The innovation technology. They're producing on 5 acres greenhouse. They're producing heads of lettuce between 13 and 25 days, 365 days a year. They've already maximized their market right now. Now they're looking for another 5 acres. It's a large investment, but the technology and innovation in this plant is unreal. And those are the types of things that if we can connect them with some capital investment for the next phase of this project, then that's the type of stuff that we need to do. And it's out there. We just have to exploit, I think, the positivity outcomes of agriculture and ag tech in Canada, because I really think there's a massive opportunity, as I said before.
You received a part of a letter from a number of different commodity groups, ag associations, industry stakeholders, the Let's Grow Canada campaign, I should say. What's your reaction to the suggestion that agriculture needs to be more of a top priority for the government?
That's perfect. As a minister sitting here responsible for agriculture, uh, they're doing exactly what they should be doing, and I am my priorities aligns very well with that letter. And no, I welcome that letter, and kudos to all those sectors that applied it. And I think that that's what we need. We need advocacy on my behalf, on their behalf. I think we all need to come together. The more we do this, Sean, the more recognition agriculture is going to get across this country. And, we're not fighting with one another. We're not, going in different directions. We're rowing in the same direction, and we're making agriculture more visible, more attention put on it at every level. And I think, no, I think it's extremely important.
You've been doing the tour. You've been traveling across the country, meeting with stakeholders. The listening. I call this like kind of the initial 100-day listening tour. we're through most of that, I'm assuming, here as we're through the mid part of July and through the first 100 days. Are you formulating now the what we need to do, bringing all of that, assimilating all of that, synergizing all of it? Do you have a better understanding now of what needs to happen to move the industry forward so that it can accomplish some of those things those stakeholders said in that Let's Grow Canada initiative?
Yeah, I think so. It gives me a really good insight to the challenges that they're facing, and I always add the word opportunities because I think that's extremely important. And they tell me about different opportunities as well, whether it's market diversification, more technology, more investment, regulation impediments. There's all kinds of things, but I've been to Saskatchewan, Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, obviously Prince Edward Island, and we're heading to Indonesia the first of the week, which I think is an extremely important market right now for us and everything that's happening, and more opportunities there as well. So, yeah, it's been a busy first 100 days, but I can tell you that I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think as a new minister, that's exactly what I have to do. And there's lots of challenges out there, but again, I'm going to use that word opportunities because I really think there is opportunities, and I think I need to take that to Ottawa, especially this fall when we sit back down at the cabinet table face to face.
The U.S. has been working on trade deal with Indonesia, and you're headed there next week. What's the purpose of the trip? Totally trade related?
Yeah, it certainly is. And I think building that relationship and showing that we care. I mean, Canada's been first and foremost a great partner with Indonesia. We opened up an office in Manila. I would personally like to see us open up another satellite office, maybe somewhere else close into the Indo-Pacific area. But it's so that, building those relationships and showing a minister coming in from Canada, I hope signifies that we care about them, and we're a partner that they can trust. Hopefully we'll get to number two trading partner with Indonesia in the near future.
Have you had a chance to, obviously one of the most important trading relationships is between Canada and the U.S., and I mentioned some of the immediate challenges and then going out 12 months. Have you been able to talk to Secretary Rollins yet?
No, I haven't, and it's something that we need to do, but we need the right time too. I mean, there's a lot going on. We had the G7, we wanted to wait, and then we received the letter on the 35%. So, look, it's timing, and it needs to be addressed, obviously. But I think we need to be very strategic when we do this, and who we take with us, if there's anybody that we so desire to take, and in coordination with the PMO's office too, the Prime Minister, and make sure that we're all on the same page here. It's a very fragile time in the trade, so I don't want to disrupt any more than anyone else, but I want to make sure that I have all my ideas and strategies settled before I make that attempt.
Yeah, the Prime Minister and Ambassador Hillman have really taken the lead on those trade negotiations with the United States and their trading team. Have you been able to contribute in terms of what agriculture would seek in terms of improvement or defending the fortress, so to speak? Have you been involved in those discussions with the Prime Minister and Ambassador Hillman?
Yes, we're constantly involved in as far as conversations with the PMO office and the trade negotiators, their trade team through the PMO. So it's a constant. There's lots of balls in the air that they have to look after, obviously, but agriculture is certainly we know the priority of it and we know what they're talking about, and so hopefully we can get through this time and move on, because I think the opportunities for Canadian agriculture is certainly changed over the past couple of years, and I think there's if there's a silver lining in everything that's happening, it's people coming together and working in the same direction.
I know we're running out of time, Mr. MacDonald, but I just wanted to get in as well. I know the Prime Minister has instructed different departments to work on costs and try to reduce some of those costs. Where are you at in that process, and what are some of the timelines of that?
Well, we're certainly looking at everything. Looking at programs that maybe haven't been used. There's all kinds of it. Look, I've gone through this as a provincial minister, as a finance minister, so I'm fully well aware of everything that can transpire over transformation of government. I think we have to be fiscally responsible, but I also think that we want to ensure that our priorities in the agriculture sector are heard front and center and understood that the important role that it plays in growing the economics of this country. So you don't want to cut off the hand that feeds you per se. So I think we'll leave it at that. But yeah, certainly we're working our way through it.
Do those cost instructions need to be done before a potential fall budget?
I think the outline of them, Sean, necessarily have to be done. I think there has to be a process in place and a target set, and that's what we're working through right now.
Okay, well, I had a great time with you in person at the Calgary Stampede. It was great to be able to chat with yourself and your wife. I quite enjoyed it. I guess the big question is, did you enjoy the Calgary Stampede?
You know what? I had a blast. The reception, as you know, were there. Look, people were welcoming with open arms, and I can't say enough. Look, Canadians are special people. We know that, so we just want to keep building on that and make sure we keep our lines of communication open for my department in Ottawa. And I appreciated meeting you as well, and enjoy the conversations always.
Great stuff. We've been chatting with the Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, the Honourable Heath MacDonald, based out of PEI. Mr. MacDonald, thank you so much for joining us here today on Real Ag Radio, and look forward to our next chat. And good luck next week in Indonesia.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Take care.